the most anticipated speeches of last night, and perhaps right on the top tier of all the speeches throughout, were the Obamas. So Michelle, who the right had speculated earlier this year in a conspiracy theory that Joe Biden would be pushed out so that Michelle could become the nominee. They were not wholly wrong about that theory, just about the Michelle part, but we're very excited to see her speak. And obviously any Barack Obama speech is must-see TV. So we're gonna start with Michelle. She began, the first part of her speech was very hopeful, optimistic, acknowledging the change in the tone and tenor and vibe of this race. But then she did eventually go in on Trump and the Republicans. So let's see a bit of that.
She understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth. If we bankrupt a business or choke in a crisis, we don't get a second, third, or fourth chance. If things don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No. We don't get to change the rules so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. No. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. Who's gonna tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
That was, in some ways, especially the beginning of that speech, I think was very classic Michelle Obama.
Right. A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
There was kind of like in that latter bit, there was a little bit more having fun with it than I attribute to her speeches. What did you make of that?
Oh man, hey, she's back, man. I don't know what to tell you. It was amazing. Politics aside, she is so familiar, and it's just like a warm hug in a speech. I love the affirmative action point. You know, it's the first convention since that was overturned in the Supreme Court. It's special, and I felt like we've been waiting for someone to do this kind of like smart drag of the rhetoric, and it also felt like she was getting her lick back after Trump trotted out this birtherism against her and her husband that put their lives in danger at times over the, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
Sharon?
I just love her, okay? And I love her because, yes, she's classy, but she keeps it real and grounded, okay? She doesn't need to be politically correct, although I think the point is right, that she does keep it, smart in the clapback. But I just thought it's so refreshing, because as a black woman in the workforce, and black men too, it's like she's looking at me saying, I see you, and I know what you're going through. We see you, and we're not going anywhere. I just loved it. I wanted to hug her. Her samurai, what is that outfit that she had? She was ready for battle. And I don't know anyone, okay? I don't know a 20-year-old who can do this, wave and do this thing to the crowd, and there's none of that. Do you understand? And I know that's just, come on, I shouldn't be talking about the physical, but how does she do it? And the little, I love you, as they were kind of holding hands as she was trying to leave, and he just builds her up. What a partnership. It's hard on you guys, because when we see them together, it's what we all must have. I love them. And I just was like, if only.
Yeah, and as a family unit, but in particular, like if you're a right winger, Barack Obama becomes president, and you're gonna hate him. We understand there's a variety of reasons you're gonna hate him. Some of them were fairly obvious, fairly racist. There's also theoretically some political things. He does some stuff. You don't want people to have health insurance, so it makes you really mad that people have health insurance. I get that. The rage and anger and conspiracy theories towards her, when she was not generally an out front policy advocate, she did stuff, having to do with like nutrition and kids and all of that. And obviously she understands all this. I'm sure she has as detailed an ideology and a set of policy preferences as Barack does. But the fact that they greeted every second of her existence with rage and conspiracy theories and talk about how dare she wear like a short sleeve dress and bizarre transphobic conspiracy theories. But they do that because you can't attack her in a rational sense because she's everything you would expect a professional person in politics to be. She has those characteristics, she has the knowledge and the experience, and so they flail to attack her, and I think make themselves look a lot worse than she does coming out of it.
She is elegant, she is beautiful, she is a woman. And again, disagree, agree with her politics, whatever. This lady raised 2 incredible children, supported her husband. She is in so many ways the traditional view of what an American woman is, and this is heavy air quotes, supposed to be. And yet they attack her constantly.
Yeah.
And I think it was time. It was high time that she came out and swung a little bit herself.
Yeah. We don't expect that. Sharon?
I think too that even those on the right who pretend and say vile things about her, revere her, envy her, are intimidated by her. You have to look at it this way. I thought the first thing Donald Trump would do would be rip up her vegetable garden. John's right, she grew vegetables and she worked out and wanted people to be healthy, and God forbid, okay? And Melania Trump embraced it. The vegetable garden stays. And I think that she is what Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, and Mace, some of these other ones on the right know they cannot live up to her standard. And she's so humble, she's not even trying to create this thing. She's bringing the values that she was raised with. She doesn't even look overly excited to be on a stage with the flashing bulbs and people screaming her name. She's not fazed by it. And I think that's a lot to live up to, and that's part of the reason why they try to vilify her.
Yeah, they can't match her. The best they can do is plagiarize her speeches. That's all they can do.
Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.